Chapter 3. After posting a help wanted sign at the general store, Uncle Rudy had hired 4 more Rough Riders. There was Carlos, Bill, Mac, and you already had Zeke, and then the last one, his name was Happy. Happy was the man who said, "I'll be a good worker, but I'll never smile." Well, that was strange, and so Uncle Rudy prayed for him and asked the Lord, "I'll help him to smile and pray that you'd save him too." Well, as things went on, they went back to the ranch, and Uncle Rudy wanted to learn how to be a cowboy, so Happy gave him his lasso rope. And he began swinging it around his head, and swinging it towards the post just over there. And he let loose, whee! And the rope flew through the air right past the post and landed on the head of the biggest bull in the whole corral. Uh-oh. And the bull smiled and whipped his head like that, and Uncle Rudy took flight. Whee! Thud! And landed right inside the corral next to the biggest bull. Uh-oh. The bull is stomping his feet. He's snorting and looking at Uncle Rudy like he wants to trample him into a pancake. What is going to happen to Uncle Rudy? All 5 of the hands worked like lightning. Carlos threw his lasso across the corral onto a fence post and pulled it tight and tied it around the other side. He had formed a rope fence in between Uncle Rudy and the bull. And then Bill and Mac threw their lassos around the neck of the bull and pulled him tight so he couldn't run over and stampede on top of Uncle Rudy. And then Happy and Zeke jumped over the fence, whee, and landed inside and grabbed hold of Uncle Rudy and pulled him to safety. Hurrah! 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 Well, there he was, and Uncle Rudy said something that puzzled the 5 ranch hands. He said, "Boy, if it hadn't been for you men and the Lord, I would have been in serious trouble." Well, Happy frowned, as he always does, and looked at Uncle Rudy and said, "What do you mean, the Lord?" He said, "Well, when I was pulled over by the bull, I prayed and asked the Lord to rescue me, and sure enough, He sent me you 5 to rescue me from the danger." Uncle Rudy put his hands on his hips and said, "Uncle Rudy, we don't understand why you talk about God so much, but we're glad you escaped." Well, the weeks passed, and Uncle Rudy was learning how to be a cowboy. He learned how to ride a horse, how to use a lasso, how to brand a steer, and he was becoming quite a cowboy, quite a rancher. Well, what was to happen next? The time finally came when Uncle Rudy was ready to get the herd on the cattle drive. They had to take them from Saratoga to Walcott, Wyoming. And it wasn't really that far, about 22 miles. But there were a lot of obstacles in the way. And to take 50 cows somewhere, it's like taking 50-some children down to get cookies. It takes a while, doesn't it? Well, that night, as everyone was packing up extra clothes and food into their saddlebags, Uncle Rudy got busy on his own. He packed up his saddlebag with his clothes, extra cookies. He liked vanilla wafers. And he put them in there, and he got everything ready, and then nobody else knew it, but inside of his room, he reached inside the closet and pulled out a box. And he opened up the box, and inside he took out 5 books that looked exactly the same. 5 books. Each of them was black and had silver letters on the front. And he took those 5 books and walked over to the bunkhouse and knocked on the door. The man let him in and he said, "Boys, I've got something special for you." He gave each one of them a Bible. It was a black Bible with silver letters. Most of the men, like Bill, Mac, Carlos, and Zeke, smiled when they received it and said thank you. But when Uncle Rudy handed the Bible to Happy, Happy was not happy. Uncle Rudy, are you trying to make me a Christian? Because if you are, I want you to give it up. I will never smile, and I will never become a Christian. Got it? Whoa. Happy wasn't too happy, was he? Well, Uncle Rudy was sad about that. He had been praying for Happy and the rest of the men to receive Jesus Christ and be saved. And as he walked back into his house, he thought, "Oh Lord, what will you do? Please save Happy." A few minutes later, there was a knock on his door. He opened the door, and guess who it was? It was Carlos. "Carlos, how may I help you?" "Uncle Rudy, you've been telling us, well, I've got some questions about the Bible. Come on in." And they sat down on the couch, and he said, "You know, Uncle Rudy, I've been thinking about all you said, but I just don't understand how God could love a sinner like me." Uncle Rudy smiled and said, "Let me show you a verse in the Bible. But God commends His love toward us in that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us." Do you understand that? "Well, I'm just not sure." Well, at least he was asking questions. Uncle Rudy said, "Why don't you go back and start reading your Bible? Begin in the book of John. It'll help you to understand all about Jesus." Carlos said he would, and he walked away. Well, the next morning, Uncle Rudy decided to do something special. After breakfast was over, he said, "Men, I have an announcement." All eyes were on Uncle Rudy. "Men, you know by now that I'm a Christian. And I want to do something very special. I want this ranch to be used to make God look good. And here's what I'd like us to do. I'm inviting you to a Bible study 10 minutes after breakfast every day if you'd like to come. You don't have to, but you may come." Well, Uncle Rudy sat down. He was clearing his plate and his silverware and everything, getting ready to take it over to the kitchen and wash it, when all of a sudden he noticed that things were quiet. And he turned around, and there was Happy, standing right beside him, shaking in his boots. Anger was seeping out of his ears. His face was red. And he said, "Uncle Rudy, I am sick and tired of hearing about God. Everywhere we go, in the corral, in breakfast, at nighttime in the bunkhouse, you were always trying to make us become Christians, and I'll have no part of it." Whoa. Everybody was quiet. What's Uncle Rudy going to say? What could he say? Uncle Rudy looked down and looked up and looked down. And you'll have to come back tomorrow to find out what he said.